Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus and welcome to Livestream Tuesday. I hope you guys have had a good start to the week and that you had a great weekend as well. And we have had quite a lot of you guys in the live chat room before we've even started the live stream. So hello to all of you guys, and let's get you guys up on screen just to take a look at who is in the house tonight. So we have Vince and Reb and Upheaval and Shirley and Ian and Madman and Debbie and Linda and David. Hello guys, thank you for tuning in tonight. And also we have had a bit of action already in the super chat window, which was from New Mum, who has donated $2 already, and this is before the live stream. So thank you so much for that donation. And the message was Bar DR, D Bar DR, which, if you watched my Earth, Wind and Fire analysis video, will make perfect sense to you. And if you haven't, you can go and watch that, and then it will make perfect sense. But thank you so much, New Mom, for that donation before the live stream even began. And we've just had another donation from Carla, who has donated $9.99. So thank you for that, Carla. And immediately, Rose has donated $2. Thank you for that, Rose. And the message is Flumbertron, and this is something that seems to be spreading through the chat room, and it's something that has been popping around the chat room for many weeks, and we all know who started it. But anyway, thank you, Rose, for that. So not only have we had super chat donations already, but we've had some interesting messages with Bar DR and Flumbertron. So thank you everybody for tuning in tonight and joining me for Live Stream Tuesday. I'm just speaking too quickly, there's so much to talk about. I also want to get the names of my patrons up on screen because they make this live stream possible, but also make every single video that I do on YouTube possible as well. So thank you guys so much for your support. You know who you are, and their names are going to be running across the bottom of the screen throughout this live stream, so you'll be able to see them there. They also pop up in the super chat window sometimes as well. So thank you guys for all of your support and for joining me over here from Patreon. Also for giving me the videos that you want to see tonight so that I don't have to try and decide for myself, because I can never decide what to play. But we have had another donation in that super chat window, and this is from Linda, who has donated $2. Hello, Linda, and thank you for that donation, and good to see all you guys again, and Linda and Rose and Carla and New Mom and everybody in the chat room. The message is reminding you to pin the mug on the live chat. So let me see if I can do this live. And thank you, Linda, for reminding me, because I always forget to do this, even though I do plug the mug. And let me just do that already. Plug the mug and spike the likes at the same time. Why not? Let's do it really early on in the live stream. If I didn't have a mug, I would forget to ask you to hit that like button and that thumbs up. But if you could, it would be massively appreciated, and it really does help this channel to get out there and to grow. And by the way, we've just passed 119,000 subscribers. It sounds like such a crazy number when you say it, but it is true. So thank you everybody for hitting that subscribe button as well as that like button. But the mug, yes, let me just totally forget to do it, even though I've just said that I'll do it. So I'm going to try and do this live while I'm talking to you guys. Obviously the screen that I'm looking at isn't the screen that you guys are seeing, because I've got all the merchandise and lots of other stuff on there. I've got the t-shirts, and I've actually got the t-shirt on tonight. So you can get a hold of this underneath the video. It should be in the tray under there. I'll leave it open a little bit so people joining the live stream might be able to see it. But let me just see. This could crash and burn as an idea trying to do this live, but I'm going to see if I can pin this to the top of the live chat room. Maybe it's not gonna work. Let's just click on that and see what happens. Anyway, hopefully it's going to sort itself out and it will appear at the top of the live chat room, because if you want to get your hands on a mug, then you can do by clicking at the top of the comments or the chat room And I think to begin with, it starts out as quite a big square and then it goes to a smaller square. So hopefully that will appear in due course, and I've just seen it on the screen, so it is now there. You can click on that. Anyway, if you want to have a mug of something while you watch the live streams. But thank you everybody for getting involved and buying a mug and buying a t-shirt and doing all those kind of things. A big shout out as well to Laura, who is in the house. Tennessee Moppy will be in the chat room somewhere, but she's in charge of the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook, and as a group that has now got 300 members, or maybe over 300 members, so that's really going well. And thank you, Laura, and also Vince for hosting the after party over there after these live streams on Tuesday. And it might be the case that I'll be doing a live stream on Saturday as well, but I'm going to throw this out there to you guys on a Tuesday night because I think more people can access it on a Saturday night. I'm still going to keep doing it on a Tuesday night just because it's what I've always done for many, many years. Even when nobody was watching, I was live streaming on a Tuesday. But I think it could be good to have a similar kind of thing on a Saturday, whether it be an every other week kind of thing or an every week kind of thing. So I'll throw that over to you guys in the chat room, and I'll keep looking down there, especially during the videos while they're playing, so that I can see what your opinions are about doing a live stream on Saturday. There's also something about the clock times changing, and it might be something that you have to check with your time zone to see when the live stream's going to be live. It's always 12 midnight here in the UK. That's when I live stream, and figuring out what time it is where you are obviously is going to be a little bit more difficult when the times change. But I will be creating an event, so hopefully YouTube, when the event is created, it gives you a countdown timer on the page where the live stream's going to happen. So it should count down in your time zone, so you can check exactly when it is going to be live, and then you know, well, just looking at your clock at that time, how many hours, 10 hours for example, will be when it starts counting down. But anyway, I'll do that. If you guys want to do a live stream on Saturday, then I'm up for it, and you guys know that I'm always in this room every night anyway, so live streaming is always a possibility for me. If you guys want to see it, let me know in the chat room, and I'll also bring it up with you guys over on Patreon, even though a few of you have messaged me already about the live stream on Saturday potentially being a good thing to do as well. So I'm going to be looking over into the chat room because we have Batfink Reynolds in the house, and Guitar Fan, and Carla, and Reb, and Laurie as well. Quick shout out to the moderators as Carla and Laurie go through the screen there. They've got a wrench next to their name and they're in blue, so you can see them. They keep control of the chat room during the live streams, so thank you guys so much for keeping everybody in check. But like I always said, you know, you guys are so good and well behaved in the chat room. I'm sure that there isn't a hell of a lot of moderating to be going on, but I think it's another thing that it might fly under the radar because they do it so well. So thank you moderators so much for joining me on these live streams and keeping everything under control. And it is amazing that with 119,000 subscribers, it still seems to be a really nice place in the comment section on YouTube. I think there will always be one or two people that want to get involved and throw in some negative comments, but that's just to be expected. It's the world that we live in. But we have had a little bit more action in the super chat window, so putting a spotlight on that, we have got to scroll up because we've had a few more. Thank you so much for these donations. And it is Marge who has donated $2, but also Debbie who donated before that actually, and that was $4.99. So thank you, Debbie. Debbie's message was, "Hi Phil, I love this live stream, so fun." So thank you for joining me here, Debbie, but also over on Patreon, because Debbie just recently became a patron. So thank you for that. And like I said, these people across the bottom of the screen, Debbie's name you'll be able to see in there somewhere, because I always update it before I go live to put the new patrons' names on the list. So keep an eye out for Debbie. And that is perfect timing right at the end. I didn't even plan that, but that is destiny. So Debbie, thank you so much for that. Wow, I couldn't have planned that any better. So Debbie, a new patron and donating on the live stream. Thank you so much for that. And Marge has donated as well, and she has donated $2. Thank you for that, Marge. And the message is spanning the wings. So we've had another donation under that as well, and it's Cat A who has donated $10. Thank you so much for that. The message is, sorry I haven't been able to be here for your live streams. Glad I could make it tonight. And thank you for joining me tonight. And it's not that bad if you miss a live stream, because everybody is busy, and if people just watch the analysis videos, then that's great as well, because it all helps, especially if you give the analysis videos a thumbs up and if you subscribe to the channel, of course. But these live streams are a great place to get together with you guys live and see who's in the house, and also read out questions and play a few requests and all of that kind of stuff. So it is cool to see you guys at the live stream, but if you can't make it, of course, I understand, because it's a very busy life and there are so many other things that you could be doing. But I really do appreciate all of your company throughout this live stream in the chat room, guys. Thank you so much. But Cat A, thank you for that donation. And Ian is in the house, and Ian has donated $119. So another crazy donation from Ian. Thank you so much for that. The message is, for getting to 119,000 subs, awesome work. So thank you for that, Ian. And it's just you guys that are subscribing. So thank you, everybody, for making the number such a crazy number. And without your support, it wouldn't be happening. So it's all down to you, everybody in the chat room tonight, and everybody that watches the channel and the analysis videos, as well as the music videos and the cover videos. But thank you, Ian, for that crazy donation. And Carl is in that house again as well, and Carl has donated $5. Thank you for that, Carl. I know what this is going to be already before I even read the message. It's for the Cross the Pond Fund. Rock on, spike the likes, and turn it up to 11. Thank you for that, Carl, and that $5 will go in the Cross the Pond Fund. Thank you for that donation. And we are going to be getting into the first video of the night. First of all, we've had another donation from Angela, who has donated $5. Thank you, Angela, again. Twice a week live stream, much better than once. So thank you for that. And also, just throwing it out there to the chat room, like I said in the videos, because I can jump into the chat room when the videos are playing, then we can talk about the live stream on Saturday, because it might be something that we can do as a regular thing, which would be cool. And I think there is another donation underneath these donations that I can't quite see yet, but we're going to look over here. It's Michaeline who is in the house. Hello, Michaeline. Thank you so much for joining me tonight and for the $9.99 donation. And the message is, Livestream Saturday sounds great. So it seems like we're getting lots of thumbs up for a Saturday live stream. I'll have to work on a new graphic. Obviously, maybe just change the word from Tuesday to Saturday. That'll be a very quick way of doing it. But thank you, Michaeline, for that donation. I am going to change the screen a little bit also while the video is playing, because I'm not sure the live stream super chat window is showing up. Let me drag this down and see if this is going to work. I think it is. There we go. So hopefully that will sort itself out on your screens as well, because it looks better now on my screen. But let's get into this first video, because this was requested over on Patreon. Thank you guys so much, and is requested by Laura, as I mentioned in that Wings of Pegasus supporters group, which if you want to join, head over to Facebook and just click on, well, search for it first of all, Wings of Pegasus supporters group, and then click on join to join that group, and then Laura will allow you into the group, and then you can join the after chat live stream party thing that Vince hosts, as I mentioned earlier, the after party that happens over there. But if you want to jump over to Facebook, you can do that. And like I said, 300 plus members in there now. So thank you everybody for joining in with that supporters group as well. So this is Laura's request, and it's my song from my album Persistence, and this is called Greed, and this is the lyric video for it, so you can read along while listening to the song. And just quickly, Jen has jumped in with a $5 donation. Thank you so much for that, Jen. And the message is, if you're going to spend more time in the room, once again, couch recliner fund with a smiley face. So thank you. Yes, it might be a very relaxed live stream. I could just be lying on a sofa or something and not doing anything and putting it all, just automating it. But last time I did that, it didn't really work very well. So I think I'll stick to how I'm doing it here. But it is an interesting avenue that I could go down, just kitting out this place and the studio with a sofa, maybe to talk to people, get some guests in. You never know where things can lead in the future, but we will see. Anyway, let's get into this song. This is my song called Greed, and it was requested by Laura. I'm going to be in the super chat window. Well, I'm not going to be in the super chat window. That would be crazy, me donating to myself, but I'm going to be in the live chat room while this is playing. I'll see you guys in there, and I'll see you guys after this. Rock. So that was my song called Greed. I hope you guys enjoyed that one, and you can pick up that song and the whole album if you want to over at wingsofpegasus.com, and it's that site. And if you want to go to the store section, put a / and store on that, but you can also just go to the site and find the store section. Just click on the tab for the store. But that's my album called Persistence, which has got lots of songs on, including Greed, and it's also got the other 2 original songs that I'm going to be playing tonight later on, and we play a cover on these live streams as well. So if you don't know the standard protocol for these live streams, that's what's going to be happening. In terms of what I'm going to be doing on a Saturday live stream, it looks like that is a popular suggestion. So what I'll do after this live stream is probably set up an event for Saturday. And for the people that do message and say, don't burn yourself out, the live streams are actually easier for me to do than the analysis videos, because the analysis videos, usually I research for about 2 hours, and then it's between 4 and 6 hours then of filming, editing, compressing files, video files, to make them then uploadable to the internet. Otherwise it'll just take days to upload it, because sometimes the files are really big. It's like maybe 3 or 4 gigabytes. So once I've compressed that all, as I said, it takes kind of 4 to 6 hours. And sometimes the record for an analysis, and try and say that too quickly, the record for an analysis video at the moment is 11 hours. That was one where I had so many gremlins all just kicking in at the same time, and then I uploaded the finished video, and then it was blocked worldwide, and then I had to go back and re-edit and go through the whole process again of compressing and uploading. So that's the record. Whereas with a live stream, I usually start setting this up about an hour, maybe 45 minutes before I go live, and get everyone's suggestions, upload it to the live stream software, and by the time I've done that, I'm then live streaming. So it's only 2 hours, 3 hours maximum when you include the messages that I answer after the live streams and get into all the emails and all that kind of stuff. So it's only 3 hours compared to what could be 11 hours if I have a nightmare doing an analysis video. So don't worry about burnout. It is easier for me to do a live stream on a Saturday, but I don't mind doing the analysis videos as well, because I find them interesting and I like doing these videos. And also, especially when a lot of people are requesting videos, I want to try and get through as many as I can. Otherwise people will suggest or request a video and then won't see it for maybe 5 years or something. But there are so many requests that it might even take a year to get to some of them, but I will get through them. And this is the thing that sometimes people say, I suggested this 8 months ago and it was just on the list, and I do get through them. So thank you for keeping the requests rolling in. We have had another donation in the super chat window. I've just realized that I left the website up on the screen, so now you guys definitely know what it is, which is great, and I won't have to bring it up again. But let's get the super chat window up on screen again, because we have had another bit of action in there. I'm gonna have to scroll down again. We did have Jen, who donated $5, and that was about the recliner and the couch. And then Holly donated $10, and then Mana has donated $11. Thank you so much for that, Mana. And the message is, Phil, your videos always raise my vibration. So thank you for that, Mana, and thank you for watching and the donation. I've also got another one under there, which I'm going to have to look over on this screen for, and it's Kevin, who has donated $2. Thank you for that, Kevin. And the message is, Phil, have you ever played In the Tube? And no, I haven't played yet Underground, and I'm assuming that's what you're referring to, playing Underground, because you have to have a license to busk there. So there is this phase, or at least paperwork, that you have to go through, but I think it goes through different phases of applying first of all, and then you have an audition in front of people, and then they say whether you can busk or whether you can't. And this is why when you do go on the London Underground and you see people busking on the tube, it's really good quality stuff. You won't get anybody that just turns up, unless they're doing it there and they haven't got the license to do it, generally you'll just hear great musicians because they are literally auditioning previously in previous phases that they go through to then be able to busk on the underground. So it is an interesting process. I've never been through that process, and I tend to just do everything on the internet. Obviously, I used to play live a lot with the band, and it then got to the point where we couldn't afford to keep going because it is pay to play for original music in London, unless you're doing covers, which is something that you can then start to maybe build into a business. But I wanted to play my own music and write my own songs, so it kind of got to a dead end when you're doing original stuff. Apart from, I just jumped off that train because that is where I am now and why all of this has happened, and it's, I think, a better place to be just to get your music out there, because there's potentially a limitless audience for you out there to get your music to as many people as possible. So I would say to any independent musicians or bands, just set up a website and get all of your music out on the internet, because it's the best way to do it, especially if you are in London. But let me just move this live chat thing down, because I think maybe it's cutting parts of the comments out, but hopefully that is all right on screen now. So everybody, thank you so much for joining me tonight on Livestream Tuesday. If you get a chance, please hit that thumbs up to spike the likes if possible. We always aim for 200 likes on these live streams, and we will see if we can reach that tonight. A spike of the likes now would be great, and I still can't get over how well timed that part was when I mentioned Debbie and her name literally went across the screen. And there are so many names, the timing was amazing. So that has got to be a highlight of the live streams since doing them, because it was perfect timing. Anyway, hopefully everything will continue as smoothly as that went, totally unrehearsed. But we're going to be getting into the next video, and just before I do, Lynn has popped up on the screen in the super chat window, and Lynn has donated $100. Let me try and sort my screen out in front of me here because it's cutting off the bottom of the super chat window. But Lynn, $100, a crazy donation. Thank you so much for that, Lynn. The message is, the extra effort for the Donal Logue joint video was very much appreciated. Thanks! Exclamation mark. So thank you, Lynn, for watching and for that donation. The thing with those videos that are a little bit longer to put together, as you guys know, on Patreon, I was doing that from Wednesday night all the way through to then Friday night to when I released it. So it does take a little bit more work, but getting into the future, or looking into the future with the channel and with the support that I get from you guys as well, and that foundation of support on Patreon, the next goal over there is to then decrease my teaching a little bit more, because if I could do that, it means that potentially I could do something maybe once a month that is like the Donal video, where I get somebody else on the channel and we talk about a particular artist, or we talk about guitar. It just depends what they want to talk about, really. But it is something that might be possible to do in the future on a Thursday, and maybe edit it together for a Friday night release, but we will see what happens. But certainly with all of your support, it's something that is possible. So thank you everyone, and Lynn for that donation. We have had another donation from Debbie, who has donated $4.99. Thank you for that, Debbie, again. And the message is, have you started any new songs for another album? And recording wise, I haven't had time, unfortunately, to get anything down. I have had a bit of a nightmare because I used to record all of my ideas for songs on my old phone, and my old phone died. And when I say it died, I mean it crashed. And it meant that in order to access anything, you had to reinstall the operating system. But in doing that, it deleted everything. So there were a lot of riffs and song ideas and lyrics that I just lost on my phone, and I should have backed it up. But I still have a lot of the ideas in my head, especially for the songs that got a little bit further on. But it's just the case I haven't had time, unfortunately, to get stuck into that. And I think everybody knows that the first album that I did, obviously the writing is something that takes a long time, but then the recording process and the mixing and the production took 6 months. And that is 6 months of literally doing it every night and just working on it, piecing it all together, getting the recording done and mixing. Like I said, is such a complicated process and a long process to get it exactly how I want it to sound. So it would take about 6 months to stick together another album. Not that it won't happen in the future, but it's just getting time to do that. And also it might then be the case that I disappear for 6 months and there might not be any live streams. And the good thing is, at the end of it, I'll have a new album, but it'll be 6 months of silence, whereas I'd prefer to try and do a little bit at a time and maybe go away for a week or two at a time. It's something that I'm going to have to work out in the future to see how things work. But at the moment, I'm just in a bit of a groove with things on the channel and running everything exactly as I am. Like I said about maybe doing a live stream on Saturdays and these videos that might be able to happen in the future, the first of which I've done with Donal. And also I've mentioned about the warning and something that unfortunately we were going to do that a couple of weeks ago, but we couldn't because of illness. So we might be able to reorganize that in the future, because it would be good to get the warning up on the channel. And it has been confirmed that they will be playing in the UK towards the end of the year, which I might be involved with if they're happy for me to get involved with that as well and do some hosting or something like that. But we will see if there's any news on that front, and if it all gets confirmed from a hosting perspective, I'll let you guys know, and I'll probably do a video that I can upload on here to let you guys see what happened on the night or the couple of nights, depending on how long it goes on for or how long they want me to be involved with it. But thank you everybody for the donations in the super chat window, and thank you for that donation again, Debbie. We've had another donation from Jeannie, $5. Thank you so much for that. And the message is, hi Phil, I'm late to the party tonight. Spike the likes with a sunglasses emoticon and a thumbs up. So everybody, hit the thumbs up and spike the likes as Jeannie has requested. It would be massively appreciated to try and get the likes up to 200 on this live stream. And we've had another donation, and this is SB Rand, who has donated $10, and it's a straight up donation, so thank you for that. And then Cat A has donated again, and it is $2. The message is, I'm back. Went to buy some merch. So thank you. And it's got a cat emoticon picture. But thank you, Cat, for buying some merchandise. And if you guys want to get your hands on a mug, I'm going to plug the mug again and spike the likes. If you want to get your hands on that, it's now pinned to the top of the chat room. So you guys can get involved there and buy a t-shirt if you want to. There's this t-shirt. There's also the older style of t-shirt, which you might see me wearing in older videos. Actually, I played the version of Amelia that I did. I think I had the old version of the t-shirt on in that. But you can find all of these t-shirts in that tray underneath the video, or in the tray underneath the video, because it should be on your screen. But thank you, Kat, for buying some merch and for also donating $2. We've had another donation from Laura, and it's for $10. Thank you for that, Laura. The message is, Phil, please say thank you to your dad and mum for turning you on to really good music when you were growing up. In the South, we'd say they raised you right. So thank you for that, Laura. And I think the difference with the music that I listened to when I was growing up, it was just what happened to be on in the car, and we had a tape deck in the car. Obviously, the younger generation won't know what tape is, but we had all sorts in there. Like I mentioned, with Earth, Wind and Fire, we had Philip Bailey, and that was Chinese Wall, the album, which was really cool. And we had Michael Jackson in there as well. So many different styles of music, and obviously some Gary Moore. I say obviously, it's not an obvious mix with those previous acts or artists and bands, but Gary Moore was one of those that was in there. Peter Gabriel as well. So there were so many different styles that I was listening to at a young age, but I think it was just songs that were going in, and subconsciously it just opened me up to lots of different things. Boston as well, Jimi Hendrix of course, and then I would get into Van Halen. Actually, that was a tape that my dad had, Van Halen, which then was worn out in my my Walkman, as they were called, because back in the 80s and the 90s you were super cool if you had your Walkman with your headphones. Obviously now it's all wireless and is played as an MP3 through Bluetooth, and it's all moved on. Imagine talking about this back in the 80s or the 90s, about music traveling through the air into your ears where you've got something that's wirelessly picking it up. It would sound crazy and you'd probably be locked up, or more importantly, it would be called alien technology, which it could well be. Who knows? But anyway, thank you so much, Laura, for the kind words about my parents, and I'm sure they would love hearing that. And I won't hear the end of it, but thank you, Laura, for that donation. So we are going to be moving on to the next video. Thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. I've just seen a comment in the chat room from Batfink Renault who says, I still have a Walkman that works. So fantastic. And I used to have a Game Boy, and it's a little computer thing that I think was the first handheld, or at least the first seriously advanced for the time handheld game, and I used to have that, and that was like the most amazing Christmas present ever, because I got a Game Boy and I had Super Mario World on there. But anyway, that's enough of my gaming history. We're going to be getting into the next video. This is one of those, again, requested over on Patreon, and this is Boys Are Back in Town by Thin Lizzy, of course, and this was requested by Sally, and interestingly enough, this is a band that Donal and I were talking about on Thursday night, and it's all going to overlap with Rory Gallagher, who we were talking about, but then of course Thin Lizzy and Phil Lynott, and talking about some of his bass lines, but also his super cool delivery that he had vocally, and trying to get anywhere near that is impossible. But I'm going to play this cover now. I hope you guys enjoy it. I will be in the chat room as always, and I will see you guys after this. Rock! And there we have it. That was my cover of The Boys Are Back in Town, and I hope you guys enjoyed that one. We have had a little bit of action in more ways than one with the super chat window, because it came on and then the background didn't come on screen, but now it's on screen, but it isn't on screen. So I don't know what's happened with the super chat window, but thankfully the most important part of it has stayed. So we have had a bit of action in there, and Linda has donated $5. Thank you for that, Linda. And the message is: time for a guitar teaching question. What ages were the youngest and oldest students you have ever taught? Which was easier to teach? And I think the youngest is probably maybe 7. I don't think any younger than that I've ever taught, just purely because at that age, and also I used to teach at a shop, and there would be obviously kids there, and I think taking kids into a shop is just something that tended to be a little bit more I was going to say kind of a free-for-all in terms of people coming along and wanting to drop off their kids while they go and do some shopping or whatever, and they have a guitar lesson, and then they come back, and it's almost like being a babysitter for half an hour or an hour, especially when sometimes you do a group session and it will be maybe a couple of kids who are friends, and even worse, maybe 3 kids who are 9 or 10 years of age, and they're more interested in messing around and making noises and messing around with amps, or even worse, just running around the room. And I find that in that kind of situation, teaching on behalf of a shop, it meant that because you were teaching for another company, you couldn't say to the parents or to the company, I'm not going to teach them because they're not really paying attention, and it's obvious they don't really want to play the guitar. It's just the parents dropping them off so the parents can have an hour off from their own kids. So when I then started to teach privately, obviously I could start to make it a little bit stricter with the people that I was teaching and the ages that I go down to. It tended to be pretty much 10 or 11 years of age, where they start to have a little bit more attention span for learning, especially taking in information and then repeating it. And I always used to say that half an hour is enough for a kid of that age. But generally, when you teach privately, it's now a case of the child who wants to learn to play, and that's such a massive part of it. If they want to learn to play the guitar, then teaching them is easy because there's a desire there, there's a drive there. Whereas trying to teach a kid that doesn't even want to be there and wants to mess around, it's obviously not going to work. And this is why teaching privately is so much better. And getting towards, I think the question also had in which was the oldest that I've gone to. There's been some more super chat donations, so the screen has changed, but thank you everybody. But still addressing Linda's question, the oldest I think it's probably been maybe late 60s, something like that. But it's just across the board. I've taught, I think, people in every decade of their life. So when I'm talking about 9-year-olds and then teenagers and guys in their 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s and maybe 70s. So it just goes all across the board because everyone's the same. Everyone wants to learn, and everyone, no matter how much they've been playing, I think always has something that they want to learn. And I think it's great that people come to me to be taught the guitar, especially because I might focus on things that they didn't realize they were doing. And I think it's a massive part of teaching when you can point out things about somebody's playing that is holding them back, and just zeroing in on that particular technique that is stopping them from improving. Because so many people, especially if they've been playing for a long time, get into bad habits and they don't realize the bad habit that they've got. And it might be something as basic as picking or pick direction, and just not being able to navigate between strings, because that's the hardest thing about playing the guitar. And you see some of the great flat pickers who can just work their way from string to string because they've got the flow in the right hand, and they combine alternate picking, economy picking, try to speak too quickly again, but combining those techniques means that you will then be able to navigate through those strings so much more quickly and more efficiently. But anyway, it's one of those things that even with rhythm play, just keeping that right hand going all the time, rhythmically, the right hand is the most important thing to focus on, because that is going to give you your groove and your emphasis, and everything that you want to put into your playing from a rhythmic perspective is all in that right hand. But anyway, Linda, before I get into a live stream guitar lesson, thank you so much for that donation. We've had another one from Lisa. Thank you, Lisa, for that. The donation is for $5, and the message is the 80s were the best time ever. I had a Discman, or a Discman. How do you say that? Discman or Discman? But anyway, for CDs, of course, I did have one as well. I started off with the tape player and then moved on to the Discman, or should I say the Walkman. But I think the Walkman was something, I think it was a Sony Walkman. So it was actually a brand name more than just a tape player, which is what I used to call it. I guess a portable tape player is what we used to call them. But then I did upgrade to a Discman or Discman. I don't know. When you say Superman, you don't say Superman. So I don't know how we say Discman. I was never listening out to how people said it. But I did move on to that. But then I realized that the tape players, or the Walkman, was a lot cheaper than upgrading to the CD player. So I then went back to the tape player for a little bit. And also, when you jumped up and down with the CD player, it would skip. So if you were working out, went for a run, it wasn't very good. And it's quite big to try and attach to your belt or whatever. And when you go for a jog, you don't generally wear a belt. So it didn't really work out very well. So even more, for that tape player, it usually had a little thing on the back where you could slip it onto the trousers or the tracksuit bottoms, whatever you were using when you were working out. So it was another thing, a bonus for the tape player. And any people that are watching this that aren't quite old enough will not know what I'm talking about, but hopefully most of you guys know what I'm talking about when I talk about tape and tape players and Walkmans and all that kind of stuff. But thank you so much for that donation, and we've had more action in the super chat window. Thank you for all of your support in the super chat window tonight. But thank you, Lisa, for the $5 donation, and Linda before that, and Sally has just donated $10 as well. And the message is, thanks for playing this cover. Great job. Thank you, Sally, for watching it, and thank you all for tuning in. And let's get a spike of the likes if possible. Where are we? We are 50 minutes past 12. So it's 10 to 1 in the morning here. The time always goes so quickly in these live streams. But if we can get a spike of the likes, that would be massively appreciated. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. And we'll see if we can get to 200 likes in this live stream. But I think we might have already passed it. But I'll keep an eye on that. Thank you, Sally, for that donation. And Batfink, as I mentioned earlier, is in the house. Batfink Reynolds has donated $5. Thank you for that. The message is, Phil, the Flumbo Master, me in brackets, would like to know what camera and editing gear do you use to film your show and vids? Thanks. So I also have, of course, the Flumbatron that I put all of the vocals through because it gives it that extra bit of something, and it's actually probably the secret to why this channel is so successful. But everybody who's interested in finding out what the Flumbatron is, message Batfink Reynolds, and I won't be thanked for this now, but the Flumbatron, nobody knows what it is. It's just something that just is so amazing, nobody knows. But maybe Batfink Reynolds can help us to find out what the various Flumbatrons are, or the Flumbatronics, because it's also related to that as well from what I've heard. But anyway, getting into more seriously the stuff that I use for these live streams and for all of the analysis videos. I've got a Logitech camera, which is an HD webcam, I think. So it's just attached to the top of the screen. As you can see, obviously you can't see it, but you can see the angle at which the camera is pointed at me. So it's on the top of the screen. I've also got Mimo Live, I think is what it's called, which is a program that you can use to stream, which is what I'm using now, and you can set things up and hit buttons and program it all so that you can have things up on screen when you want them. Like I said, the super chat has gone a little bit weird tonight, but you can still see the donations on there, so it's still working okay. I have to sort that out, but that's Mimo Live is what it's called. And I also use that software to do the analysis videos, and it just so happens that on the software, when I have the screen and the screen of the video that I'm looking at and the camera, it splits it in half, and then that's just the way that it works, and it's called a split screen, obviously. And this is why some people said also, why do you have half the screen for the video? It's just the way that it works on this on the software. And also when I'm recording it, I can then record that all as raw footage and then edit it together. And obviously if I record as much raw footage as possible for the analysis videos, it means that it takes less time to edit it together once I then import it into Final Cut Pro 10, which is the editing software that I use for the analysis videos, and also for everything that I did with Donal last Thursday and then released it on Friday night. So I did that, and also the cover videos where you see all the different effects and transitions and stuff. That is all Final Cut Pro 10. And I'm probably going to do a re-edit of the Donal video and release that this week, just because of copyrights and all that kind of stuff. It might have been the case that some people didn't get to see it or weren't informed about that video because of some restrictions on it. So I'm going to make sure that I do that this week, and it might be tomorrow night or Thursday, maybe Friday, but I will be live streaming again on Saturday. So it'll be one of those 3 days. So there'll be 2 analysis videos and 1 other upload. And just thinking about that, I've still got some Frank Marino stuff from the video that I did with him where I spoke to him about loads of things, and there should be probably another Frank video on the channel, I think. So I'll maybe think about editing that together and either put that out this week or next week. But yeah, so there's a few videos that might be coming out that are related to my chat with Donal, but also Frank Marino, which would be cool, and it'd be good to touch base with Frank again as well. So anyway, we've had a little bit of action. Thank you, by the way, Batfink Reynolds, for the question about all of the gear, and Lucy's in the house as well and has donated $9.99. Hello Lucy, thanks for joining me again. The message is Saturday night's all right, fulfilling, sorry Elton, and a laughing face, great, having 2 live streams would be great. So thank you Lucy for that, and we've got some rock horns as well, and a heart, and some peace fingers, so, or pieces of fingers, but a hand doing the peace sign. But thank you, Lucy, for that donation. And we have Ray in the house. So JC's Radiant Ray has donated $40. Thank you so much for that, Ray. The message is, I just stopped by to say hello to you and the wingers. I am a bit under the weather today. I love your guitar covers. I just found Oblivion. Would you consider creating a guitar cover playlist sometime? No hurry. So thank you for that donation, Ray, and for the message. And the guitar cover playlist, I'm trying to think of the guitar covers that I've done. It is something that I could put together. And putting together playlists is something that I should do. I just haven't had the time to sit down and organize the videos into different playlists. I know that I did at one point put together a covers playlist, which I think has got maybe 30 videos in there of covers that I've done. But I know there are other covers on the channel that aren't part of that playlist, but it's just getting the time to sit down and organize playlists, because pretty much everything that I do is just one thing followed by the next thing followed by the next thing, especially with the live streams here. Like I said, that I take maybe an hour to set this all up, and then as soon as I finish here, I'll upload it over to Patreon and then get into the Facebook messages that I get. And I do this every day at night. There's always new messages all over the place, so also emails and the YouTube comments as well. And yeah, so it's just everything is pretty much back to back at the moment. But at some point, there hopefully will be playlists that I can find some time to organize and get that all done, because it would be cool for you guys, especially for people coming to the channel who just want to do a marathon. And that's something that Donal said when we were talking, that he would just get into a rabbit hole and fall down a rabbit hole of analysis videos, and maybe having a playlist of every single one, because that'll last about 8 years, because there's so many analysis videos that I've done now. But anyway, thank you so much, Ray, for that donation. And Lynn has donated again. Thank you, Lynn, for that. It's $10. And the message is, say hi, please, to Maxwell Shah in the house. So, hello, Maxwell Shah in the house. And thank you, Lynn, for that donation. We always have a look out for Mario in the house as well, who I haven't seen yet in the chat room, but we will see if Mario turns up tonight or if he is already in the chat room. We will see. We're going to be getting into the next video because it's already almost 1 a.m. So let's just jump into this next one. It's going to be my song Art Not Commerce from the live stream gig, and this is requested again over on Patreon, and this was requested by Thomas. So thank you, Thomas, for suggesting and requesting this video. We're going to be jumping into this as always. I'm going to be maybe trying to fix this window that is off to the side here that's gone a little bit wrong. The super chat window, that is the super chat window. It normally has a heading on there. It's not working at the moment, but if everything stops working with this video, you know that it's me messing around in the background trying to sort out this super chat window. But anyway, I'll see you guys after this, and it's my song called Art Not Commerce. I hope you guys enjoy it. Rock!
Telling me what's right, but I will make my own way.
And there we have it. That was my song called Art Not Commerce. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And as I said, I was messing around in the background to see if I could sort out the super chat window. So let's see if it does work. Fingers crossed, and drum roll please, which I don't have on hand as a sound effect. But let's see. Yes, we are back with the super chat window. So you can still see, hopefully, everything that's in there. And that was Lynn's donation right at the end, and Ray before that, and Lucy as well. And thank you everybody in the chat room for joining me tonight, and you guys in the super chat window as well for all of the donations. And let's just have a quick look at who's in the chat room tonight. We are past 1 AM here in England, and like I said about in the future checking the time zones for the live streams, I'm going to set up an event with YouTube, so hopefully you guys will be informed about when it is in your time zone, and that'll be on Saturday, the next live stream, because it has been voted for by the wingers, by the people in the chat room. It seems like everyone is up for another live stream Saturday night, so we will do that. Let's have a look at who's in the chat room, because we've got Debbie still in there, and Lucy, and Vince, and Eileen, and Lynn, and Darla, and Glenna. I'm not sure how to pronounce Glenna. Maybe that's... I don't think I've ever heard that name before. But anyway, Linda and Lisa again, and Batfink Reynolds and Vince, and Anna Colleen, and Jen, and Lucy, and Myra, and Little Rage as well. Hello guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And if somebody can let me know, Glenna, that might be the right pronunciation. If you can write that in the chat room in order to let me know how to pronounce the name, because it's not one that I can think of off the top of my head, but also it's something that's going to maybe be difficult to write it out. But if somebody's good at typing out how to pronounce words and names, then maybe you can do that in the chat room for me, because it would help for future, just in case we have Glenna again who joins in. But in that chat room, thank you everybody. There's lots of hand signs and peace and rock and happy face, and from Jade Music, hello, thank you for tuning in. And Maxwell has just gone through with those rock horns, so hello Maxwell, thanks for tuning in. And I've just seen as well that Maxwell says I am subconsciously here, so that is great. Even just being here subconsciously is great, and maybe you're just tuning in by using your mental capabilities and you're not even on a computer. So thank you for joining in subconsciously, and everybody for joining in tonight. If you get a chance, please hit that thumbs up, because it really does help the channel to grow, but also these live streams to get out there. And I think we are over 200 likes now for this live stream, so thank you everybody for hitting that thumbs up. And hopefully it's something that we can do on Saturday as well. We're going to always aim for 200 thumbs up, and I think last Saturday we did it, and we'll see if we can do it on Saturday night, because I think it might be a little bit more accessible for everyone to get into the Saturday night live streams. But we will see. It might be something that then really does take over on a Saturday night, but like I said, I'm always going to be here on Tuesday night as well, so it's just going to be a double live stream for the week. But everyone, we are going to be getting into the last video of the night, and it's 1:05 here in the morning, so I don't want this to go on too long. I have got other stuff that I do after the live streams as well, such as uploading to Patreon, as I mentioned earlier. But we are going to be getting into the last video of the night, and this was requested over on Patreon again. Thank you guys so much for answering all of my questions over there about the live stream and what you want to hear. And this was requested. It's going to be my video, hopefully, fingers crossed that I've put it correctly on the streaming software, as the video for my song called Don't Cry. And I am going to have a hop over to the Patreon page just to see that this was requested. I think it was Kevin who did request Don't Cry, and Lynn also backed it up, but Lynn asked for the acoustic version, but this is going to be the video version with my sister in, as requested by Kevin. But thank you, Lynn, for also requesting Don't Cry. So this is my song called Don't Cry. I hope you guys enjoy this one. As always, I'm going to be in the chat room while this is playing, and this does feature my sister. As I always say, she has no idea that I play this. Well, she does. I told her, but I don't think it really went in that I was playing a video with her in it on my live streams. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you guys afterwards. Rock! And there we have it, that was Don't Cry, and it is available on my album, same album, Persistence, that I mentioned earlier, which you can get on Amazon, iTunes, and also wingsofpegasus.com/store. So thank you everybody for joining me tonight, and we have just had a little bit of action in the super chat window. So fingers crossed I can get this up on screen and it's going to work. And this is from Abby, who has donated $9.99. Thank you so much for that, Abby. The message is, just because helping you out a little makes me happy. So thank you for that, Abby, and it makes me happy as well for all of your support, everybody in the chat room tonight, and the super chat as well. All of the donations, just joining me on a Tuesday night is great. But thank you, Abby, for that donation. And we are going to be calling it a night pretty soon. If you want to hit that thumbs up, we can have a final spike of the likes. And it looks like we've got 246 likes. I can now see it on the screen. This is one thing that I never used to be able to see, but I can now see the likes. So we've got 247, and if we can get an extra little spike of the likes in there, maybe we can make that number a little bit higher by the time we finish, which is probably only going to be in a minute or two's time. And just quickly, some of the things that I've been talking about in this live stream. Getting to 119,000 subscribers is just a crazy number. So really thank you everybody for hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button, because every time that people like a video, I think it just improves the chances of it being suggested to other people. So it means that it goes out there to a wider audience, and of course the channel then grows with people subscribing. So everyone who's hit that thumbs up, thank you, on the channel with the analysis videos, but also on these live streams as well, because we do tend to start to get more people along to these live streams, and it might so happen that on Saturdays we can start to build the audience there as well, which would be cool. Just while I'm talking about live streams and audiences, just to mention over on Facebook, the Wings of Pegasus supporters group, where you can go to after this live stream, because Vince over there hosts the after party. If you want to keep the conversation going from the live chat room, you can head over there. And also Laura is in charge of the page there. So if you click on join, just search for Wings of Pegasus supporters group on Facebook and you'll find it, and join the group, and then you'll find Laura there with Vince, and you can all chat about anything musical that you want to. But it's somewhere where you can go if you find that you just need to continue on with the chat in the live stream. Go over to Facebook after this. But thank you everybody for tuning in tonight, and for your company on Saturday night as well, because a lot of you guys were there, which I thought a lot of people might not tune in because it was a bit random having a Saturday night live stream, but it was good that you joined me there. And because of you guys, we're going to be doing a live stream this Saturday night as well. So even if you don't get the notification, if you just make sure it's this time minus an hour wherever you are, then you should be able to get it on time. Like I said, the time zones change, or have changed, or will change, but I'll set it up as an event on YouTube, so hopefully that'll all get sorted out. But thank you guys so much for joining me tonight, and all of the requests over on Patreon. As always, I'm going to be on Patreon again after this, and I'll be answering all the questions on Facebook, and also get into the YouTube comments as well. And it's just something that I do like to try and respond to everybody, so it takes a little bit of time, but I will be over there and here, there and everywhere on Instagram as well, which is where some questions do come through, as well as the emails. The emails do take me a bit of time to get through, because all of the emails from the website, the contact us page, or contact me, I'm not sure what it says, but that comes through to my emails, so that gets put in with the actual emails that are coming in. So it takes me a little bit of time to get through the emails, so if you do email, it'll take me maybe a day or two to get through to those. But thank you everybody for your messages and for watching the analysis videos. If I don't see you on Saturday night, I'll see you in the comments section of all the analysis videos. I'm always there every day looking at the comments and liking them and doing the heart on them to let you know that I've read every comment. And I will be doing another analysis video tomorrow night. And it might be the case that I start to put together a Frank Marino video or another Donal video. I'll definitely re-edit the Donal video this week, so that'll be coming up sometime soon, and probably another analysis video tomorrow night, and then we'll do something on Thursday, maybe probably the upload of Donal or Frank Marino. I don't know, I can't decide yet, but I'll know when I get there. So thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight and for all of your support, because it really does make a difference in order to keep this channel going and allow me to do a new video every single night here on the channel, whether it be analysis video, some of the cool stuff that I've managed to do with Frank Marino and Donal as well, and maybe I'll explore that avenue, getting other people on the channel, which would be cool. But the analysis videos and all the cover videos and all my music videos, everybody who has supported me throughout the years, and you guys at the bottom of the screen, my patrons who supply the foundation for the channel, and it's the only reason why I can upload every night, so thank you guys so much. So I'm going to be signing off now, and hopefully you guys can make it on Saturday night, because it'd be cool to see you there. I'm going to try and get a little bit of time to change the intro. Maybe it would just be called Saturday live stream or live stream Saturday. Maybe just live stream Saturday is going to work, and it'll just be the same setup that we have here, but just changing the word in the intro, because that'll be the easiest thing to do. Maybe I'm overthinking it about doing another intro. Just change it to live stream Saturday. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and let's have a look in the chat room. It looks like we've got a troll or a couple of trolls in the chat room. Maybe there's Dr. Psychedelic who's saying oi, 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 oi lots of times, but thank you for joining me on my live stream. And this is something that I do find with the people over on YouTube who do troll. One guy kept on coming back day after day to comment on videos. So he was actually spending a long time on a channel that he doesn't like. And I would love to have the time to spend not only on the channels that I like and music and things that I want to listen to, but then having so much time that I can go on stuff that I don't like and leave a comment. So it must be great to have that much time. And I always say that if people are trolling, especially music sites, they could be working on something themselves, setting up their own channel and maybe doing something to bring people to their channel. But obviously maybe it's going to be a little bit too much like hard work for that kind of thing.